There's a danger in blind devotion. If we're going to be devoted to something or to someone, and if we're going to be willing to make sacrifices for the same, we need to be very aware of what we're getting involved in. After all, there are some things that are worthy of our energy, our time, and attention. And then there are some things that we place a lot of faith and a lot of trust in, and they ultimately leave us feeling like, well, gee, I wish I really hadn't done that. Now, in the recent video I did on the new moon, I did a lot of talking about the whole concept of belief versus knowing. So there are some things, just as I was saying, that we put a lot of faith in. Those are the things that we believe. But there's always one area of our psyche that is not absolutely 100% positively convinced. And then there are those things that we feel beyond the shadow of a doubt, well, maybe a small hint of a doubt, but most deeply beyond the shadow of a doubt, as far as we're able to go beyond the shadow of a doubt, there are things that we know. Generally, those are things that we feel are worthy of our time, attention, and effort. Now, in the coming weeks, we've got an ongoing retrograde period of Venus. As Venus is retrograding, it's causing us to review those people, those things, those values in our life to which we give a lot of energy and to which we give a lot of devotion. Now, starting on the 18th of October, Jupiter is going to enter Anuradha nakshatra. And as it does, it's intensifying an angle with Rahu that's in Pushya nakshatra. Both of these nakshatras have a quality of sacrifice and devotion. And as this angle intensifies, it's bringing to the surface the whole concept of those things that we are extremely passionate about, those things that we feel nourish us. And ultimately, those things, people, situations that we just want to show to the door because they don't nourish us. Now, in showing those things and showing those people and showing those situations to the door and keeping our time, energy, and attention devoted to those things that are important to us, ultimately, we want things to work out perfectly. You know, we don't want to come into the situation and go, right, well, you know, I'm just going to have to be firm and go, you get out of my house, or you do this, or you do that. I want to find a situation that's going to let it kind of happen easily, right? Inside of myself, those things that don't work, well, I want to acknowledge that maybe for a short period of my life, they did. Maybe they have some value for somebody else, but they don't have any value for me anymore. And those people that no longer fit in our life, it's just a recognition that we're evolving, that we're changing, that we're growing. They are too. So maybe in these situations that you're feeling a little bit of reluctance in parting with certain things and parting with certain people in your life, maybe the transition and the shift that's taking place for you is not just taking place for the betterment of you, but it's equally taking place for the betterment of the other person. We need to be clear inside of ourselves, as clear as we can possibly be, before moving forward in the coming months with the situations that we're striving to improve upon, that we're not just scurrying for solutions that we think are just going to keep, like, you know, the status quo kind of moving forward in a nice, comfortable, smooth manner. Somewhere inside of you, you may think that just keeping things even killed is going to help you to save face with a particular situation. But ultimately, if you're keeping things even killed at the expense of a ship that's eventually going to shipwreck and overturn anyway, that may not necessarily be the best thing to do, when instead what might be the better course of action is to alter course and let the wind fill your sails in a different direction, rather than just trying to continually keep things level. Now, of course, that's an analogy, but it's a very apt analogy in regards to the situation. There's something or someone that you think that you may have to keep appeased. in order to keep a situation moving forward. Okay? But before you do that, the question is whether or not it's worth not just your time, energy, and attention, but equally the life, well-being, goodness of the other person or the other people involved in a situation to continue moving forward with something. It may actually be, and I am going to say that, it may actually be, but back to the very beginning of this video with the concept of going right. So if we're going to move forward with this, it has to be right. I need to make sure that I'm not making stupid judgments and stupid actions. And I'm sure everybody else involved in this situation is likely going through a very similar experience. So what you need to do is really take your time with this situation. So as I said, this particular intensification of aspect between Jupiter and Rahu starts on the 18th of October, about a week away from the start of this video. And it's going to continue through until the 8th of November, when there's going to be a greater degree of separation, and then it will begin to ease off. Most intense periods where you're likely confronting the deepest part of this quote-unquote crisis are going to be between the 28th and the 31st of October, as Mercury is going to cross the plane of this aspect. And as it does so, it's going to be taking you into consideration of whether or not the actions that you are intellectually making in order to sort a situation are actually creating further problems down the line. And then between the 6th and the 8th, we'll have an intensification, a deep intensification of the aspect between Jupiter and Rahu. So again, the concepts are, what am I giving my time, energy, and attention to? Those things, those situations, those people that I'm giving this energy to, are they really still in alignment with my ethics? Am I disillusioned with these situations? Does the apple cart need to be overturned? And if the apple cart needs to be overturned, well, can it be overturned in a way that we just get rid of the rotten fruit that's there and keep the good fruit nice, solid, and, for lack of a better way to put it, fruitful? So with any particular situation which you may be experiencing in your life, where you're having to make a judgment between one phase of your life that you are moving away from and what you'd like to ultimately move towards, and what you should sacrifice for and what you shouldn't sacrifice for, or anything else you might have a conundrum about, please do feel free to book an astrological consultation with me through the astrological services page of my website. If you'd like to do that, you can do so through the link above in this video. That's going to do it for this look at Jupiter's aspect to Rahu, most intensively between the 18th of October and the 8th of November 2018. Until the next time, please do take the very best care of yourself. Bye now.